Everyone, welcome to the stream today. How are you all doing? Hopefully YouTube works. Hopefully YouTube is working. Doesn't look like it's working. I should be live on Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon. We'll see if YouTube functions. Hopefully. I went to stream today and I realized it's been a while and all my setups were messed up. Oh, I'm worried. It says excellent, but I'm not getting any actual video. Anyone want to check YouTube for me? Am I live? Yeah, we just finished the let me just make sure that all my streaming is working properly before. Yeah, it says an error occurred. Let me try resetting. That's not what I want to do. Oy. Try this. Oh, YouTube was working. Oh no. Literally as soon as I ended it, two people went in the YouTube chat saying, "Oh, it looks good." Come on, we're working. We're working on YouTube. Let's make it happen. Yeah, I noticed YouTube changed their like player. It's weird. YouTube is working for you? It's not working for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to open it on my own browser. It doesn't work for me. I don't even have in my on my page. It's not even working. Let me try opening it on a phone. TaranArmstrong. I apologize, everyone. Let me just make sure everything can eventually work. I'm getting ads. I'm getting ads. I mean, that's surely that means it's working properly, right? No, an error occurred. It's working for some people. I think it's not working for others, like myself. Yeah, it's just not. It's just weird. It's just weird. It went down briefly like 10 minutes ago. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get it working in the next 20 minutes. Anyway, I'm also live on Patreon. Hello, Patreon. First time on Patreon, not Twitch. Welcome. Finish the Keanu deep dive. Yeah. So, I've always said, I'm down to do a deep dive, with whoever wants one. You know, not everyone's gonna want one, and that's completely okay. And you know, even from my own perspective, it's kind of like my thing always is, and I actually wrote about this in my book, like on season 17, it was my first US season. After the season ended, I talked with Steve a lot, and it was the first time I saw how much it could mean to somebody to have seen their experience. Because Steve was somebody that the edit really underserved. And even outside of that, he's somebody that like they didn't even show some of his camera talks. Um, and I remember like seeing that in him and seeing like how much it could mean to him theoretically to be able to talk to somebody who knew what he was doing, who saw what he was doing. And then season 18 was like the first proper kind of deep dive I did with Nicole. Um, and I for sure saw in her that like she appreciated that I was able to see what she was doing and that somebody sort of was witness to their experience. Um, and so that's always my goal, you know, like at the end of the day, the fans like them much of the time, you know. Uh there's a certain way of doing them in one way and another way. Um sometimes people really like being informed of the things that are happening. Sometimes people really want to like explain themselves. I think one of the reasons why uh like it works for me from my perspective is that like it is as much context as possible when discussing the thing, right? Um which is tough to do outside of like the 4-hour format. but but I really want to give people a chance to like say their piece is the main thing. And if people don't want to do that, they don't have to. I'm not I'm not chasing people. Um I will sometimes, you know, especially if it's the winner, I will like reach out and be like, "Hey, you know, are you interested?" Um but for the most part, it's like, you know, at this point, the fans do the reaching out. Like you guys are all up in people's business, and what I will say is, I think there's some validity to that. Of course, once you reach a certain point, I would hope that you would all be very respectful if somebody does or doesn't want to do one. Um, but uh, but Keanu reached out. Keanu reached out, and he basically was like, "Hey, I am interested in like." Learning what I did wrong, essentially. And so I was like, I'm down. Like, I'm down to chat if that's what you're interested in. I mean, whatever you're interested. I mean, which is again, not to say that I'm going to like, if for some reason, you know, like Riley reached out to me, like, it'd be a pretty different conversation. Um, but so like, I'm not gonna just ignore things, right? That's part of it. Um, if it matters to me. Like, and by ignore things, I mean, I don't care. I don't care what kind of drama they're into outside the house. It's just, I just don't care. There's so much happening um, that I've seen with like, with people in from the game um, that like they're being followed and people are taking pictures of them and like all kinds of stuff. And it's just like, for me, that's just like for me, they're gone. You know, they're out of the house. They're back to real life. Like we no longer have um the we are no longer the like overwatching gods of their life. You know what I mean? Like we need to be able to let them go uh and allow them to get back to their own life. And you know, they let, in is my opinion, you should very much allow them to choose how they want to enter or re-enter or engage with the public sphere. um so that stuff I don't care about. If it was in the game and it's relevant to the game, then yeah, we could totally talk about it. And even then, it's like if it's a personal thing, it's a tricky balance. There's not like a hard line anywhere. Um, but Keanu reached out and he wanted to talk through his game and he wanted to learn and honestly, like there were parts of it I was like, I mean, this can be public, or we could have a private chat. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever you want. Like these people have gone on the show. They've given us a lot. They've given me a lot. I've talked about them for 100 days. Um, I feel like I owe them. You know what I mean? like, uh, I feel like it's the least I can do to give back to them, especially if they're interested in doing it. Whether it's publicized or it's not. And so he was down, he was interested, and I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was a good idea. It's definitely it's a tricky thing, talking to somebody. Uh, Again, like the purpose of them is never to make people feel bad. And a lot of the information that I had for Keanu was like, man, I like this is probably gonna make him feel bad. like, and there's even a moment where I'm like, you don't need to know all this stuff if you don't want to. Like all of the trash talking that people were doing, like, you know, we can we don't have to go into all of it. Um, but I think that he really wanted to like dive in and just kind of sort of, just jump in the pool, so to speak, and then acclimate to the temperature after. You know what I mean? Um, just kind of rip off the band-aid is the much more appropriate phrasing of that. Um, and then, the conversation about bias was one that I was really interested to have with him. Um, it's again like a very tricky thing to do when it's out in front of everybody. And I'm sure that there are going to be a bunch of people who think I'm being too nitpicky about it. And there's going to be a bunch of people who think I'm being too kind about it. Um, and and I can appreciate, both of those sort of perspectives to some degree. Um, but at the end of the day, like I approached it the way I thought was best, the way that I felt was going to lead to him being the most accepting of the conversation and the most sort of willing to engage in future ones, um, and future examination and all of that. And so, you know, um, I tried, and the key to it too is that like I never want to, from all angles, like I never want to claim to be like, let me school you on how to play Big Brother, because I've never played before. Like I have all kinds of ideas. I've analyzed the thing, but like I can tell you what I've seen, what I've noticed. I can tell you about your game in terms of what happened and what I think might have been a better, course of action, stuff like that. But like I do not presume to be a guru. Nor do I presume to be somebody who can speak for women who have been wronged by men with bias. Like I can't. I'm not that voice. I will do my best to speak these things. All I can do is advocate for what I believe and to try and sort of pave the way for voices that are more important than mine in those areas. Um, and it's also very much not like in my purview to anoint anybody like you have been forgiven or this makes you good or better or whatever, because I'm not the person being wronged. Like it is I can give my opinion, but my opinion doesn't matter when I'm not the one being wronged. Um so like I really appreciate people who try to get better. But that's coming from a place of privilege where I'm not the one who has to deal with it in the meantime. You know what I mean? Um, so I never want to make people feel like not having that opinion um, is wrong, you know? So there's a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff, and it's a very difficult conversation to have, obviously, in many aspects. But hopefully it worked out. Hopefully Keanu appreciated it. He seemed to be having a lot of fun throughout it, which I thought was good. It's always, um, you know, heartening. My brain is like fried. It's always nice when people seem to be enjoying the deep dives and sort of appreciating the conversations. And it's not going to be for everyone. And all of that. But I will be talking to Rachel soon. Very excited about that. And tons of Patreon content. I recorded 3 videos today. 2 videos, 3 videos, 2 videos. Don't remember. I started watching. This is coming on Patreon. I started Celebrity Traders UK on a whim. Watched 2 episodes of it. So I have 2 episodes of that I'll be dropping. There's so many shows coming out. I'm wondering if there's like a way that we can get on a schedule where I'm just like dropping one video a day. That might be too much. That might be like too ambitious, but I feel like there's a bunch of stuff to drop. And I don't want to drop it all at once either necessarily because I don't want to like overload you. I was going to drop Jet Lag today, but then I was like, geez, the freaking Keanu deep dive is happening right now. So but I did record Jet Lag. So Jet Lag episode 4 will be coming. Survivor right now. Amazing Race. I'll do tomorrow. Survivor and Amazing Race are the only things that are higher tier. The rest of it is lower tier. Basically anything like CBS. You know what I mean? Lower jury, yeah. Lower jury and higher jury. I think I'll try to get an interview with the Jet Lag guys when the season ends because I think this has already been a very fun season. It would be very cool to get an interview with them. Little Jet Lag deep dive. But we'll see. They're busy and we're busy. So it doesn't always line up. I did my audiobook last week. I was in LA. Unfortunately, I had to miss Matt's wedding and the live show because the audiobook was scheduled at that time. But it was a really cool experience. I mean, first of all, I got to hang out with a bunch of friends in LA, which is very nice. I saw Jacob Jones. I saw Taylor. Hung out with Zach. Went to a Survivor watch party. Very fun stuff. Cool to see friends. But the recording was so fun. It was like basically you go to I've got like 5 minutes here to tell a little bit of this story. You go to like a I went to a recording studio. There's like other people there, narrators, voice actors. There's like audio engineers, people like that. And I go into like a room. It's like a little recording room. You've seen a picture of it, maybe a video of it if you've seen my social media. Tiny little room, and it's got a condenser microphone, which I'm not used to. This is a dynamic microphone, meaning if I'm over here, you can barely hear me anymore. This is like proximity. Condenser would pick up like basically the whole room, which you don't want here because this is not sound controlled. And I've got headphones on, and the audio engineer slash director is in a room next to me, separate room next to me. And his voice is coming over on the headphones, uh, like while I'm doing this. So he's like helping direct me at times. Um, like for instance, yeah, headphones are for uh, hearing the engineer, and also you can hear yourself in them too. Gives you a sense of like what you're sounding like. Super helpful for me. I have that right now as well. Um, and theoretically, if I did something when that happens, I don't hear myself anymore, so I know I'm muted. Doesn't always work this way because of audio routing, but it can be helpful to hear yourself. Um, so he will be like, now because I'm the author, I actually have more leeway in terms of like changing words as I'm narrating. Um, if you're not the author, you have to be more exact. You don't want to be changing the author's words. But because I wrote the thing, it's like if you want to change from to whatever, it doesn't really matter. Um, Zach Wurtenberg, not BB27 Zach. um, and anyway, so he's like on top of me in terms of like if I accidentally say a different word, then he'll be like, "Hey, you said this word wrong." If I'm quoting somebody, I do have to be exact, um, uh, because it's their quote. So there was a lot of that, especially because when I'm quoting somebody, it's not my words anymore, so it's harder to say it naturally. It's like I would say 80% of my screw ups are on quotes because it doesn't flow naturally from me. I'm like having to mimic somebody else's flow and words. Um, so, and then also I have to be exact. I cannot quote them incorrectly. So stuff like that. And then other times it's like, hey, why don't you say that again? But like, sell me on the wonder of this. Like, sell me on like like, for instance, I think like when I'm talking about like logging onto the live feeds for the first time, like do that again, but like, um, you know, let me feel the uh, excitement or like the wonder of it. And so I go from like, so I logged into the live feeds for the first time to like, I logged into the live feeds for the first time and, I just read it differently. Cause sometimes you're reading a whole book. So it's like, um, you can get into to just kind of like autopilot sometimes. So very useful for somebody to be like listening and being like, hey, you should try doing it this way. Like, oh, this is a really big moment. You should really take a second, um, and and do it, or think about it a little more. It was really cool stuff. Episode should be starting very soon here. Um, so one of the cool things about it was, first of all, he said I was perhaps the best author narrator he's worked with in terms of narration. um, we got done 2 days early. He said most professional narrators get 2 to 3 hours of usable audio in a day. We were getting 3.5. All right, episode starting. Hold on. This is us. All right, I don't really care about the previously on All That Much. Yeah, I think being a podcaster helped. But he like genuinely was like, hey, you should like go to a class, make some connections. Like you could genuinely like do this. And I was like, that's cool. Because it was really fun. And I would be interested. Um, so who knows? Maybe someday. Um, I did show him my Vinny impression. He thought it was great. um, it's still like super nerve wracking because it's like now it's done. I have no more um input. There is a pickup day in case they need to do pickups if like there's something that they need to be something that needs to be re-recorded. Um, all right, we're properly starting now. Book is about 12 hours, just under 12 hours. It feels like last episode wasn't a real episode. It felt like a different thing. Whoo! Is YouTube still not working? Man, that sucks. Wait, she lost her shoe? That's so funny. The ghost of Jake. I think YouTube is working for some people, so I'll keep it up, but I think it's not working for a lot of people. Hmm. Oh, I didn't do a prediction. You're totally right. Sorry, I meant to go live earlier to tell these stories, and then it took me forever to get my stuff up and running again. I was having problems with the second OBS instance. Commercial by 5:15. So cringe. Okay, there's one other thing I need to say, which is that I don't know if you can see it back there. I got Steven's book, Escape, and I read it. Like I read the whole thing, and it's really good. And now I'm watching this, and I'm just thinking about his book. A tribe switch is wild. They call it a switch all the time. Switching tribes. Everyone calls it a swap. What are you calling it a switch for? This is not Nintendo. It's so funny about the shoes. We were wondering last week if it would be a 3-tribe swap or a 2-tribe swap, because I don't think they've done a 2-tribe swap in the new era. And the thought process was if they'd planned it for 15 players, it would be a 3-tribe swap. But if they planned it for 14, it would be 2. And it sounds like he was saying they did plan it for 14. Oh, they got separated. Wait, are they really sending them to Kello Tribe Beach? The Hell Beach. Wow, it's like women versus men. Almost. So both tribes have a majority from the previous yellow or red, which is pretty bad for Kella. They aren't able to act as swing votes in either tribe. So, okay, probably what happened is that that was a challenge that they had intended to do, but because they had to speed up the swap, they probably had to cancel it. All right, early commercial. He also faked me out. I thought that we'd get a challenge there, which is why I put 515. All right, give me one moment here. All right. Escape by Stephen Fishback. Um, I got this book. I read it the next day. I read the whole thing in a day. It's like 400 pages. It was awesome because it was like I was able to kind of like fully remove myself from work mode for the first time in months. I just took a day and I just relaxed. And I just sat outside in the beautiful weather and I just read the entire day. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then I immediately got back to work prepping for deep dives and doing Patreon content. But I had that day and it was great. And the book was super engaging. Like it kept me enthralled the whole time. I was genuinely impressed. Like I'm excited for you guys to read this. Like I want to talk to people about it, but I can't because nobody else has it yet. Um, but it's very good. It's very like detailed, or I would say like it feels very true to reality TV in a way that like so many other books aren't. Um, if you've ever read a book about like a fiction book about reality TV, they always get so much wrong, you know? But like obviously Steven's not going to get that stuff wrong. Um, but then also genuinely, episodes back, his character work is so good. Like the characters feel really well crafted, which is a huge thing for me. Sophie just has great energy. Can we talk about this? ultimately, the Kella stuff should be useful for them. It's so weird that we're getting these introductions on episode 4. Oh, no. No. No, I forgot about this. No. All of their legs are just destroyed. A weird duck. I'm sorry. I don't know if I could work with you if I hear about the jar. You know what I mean? Yeah, kind of messed up that the guy that won all the puzzles had to go to the other beach and not have any of the rewards he won. Because let's be real, that guy won all of it for him. No, no, no. Sorry, he's still there. Sorry. They showed Jason is his name. They showed him after she talked about the hammock thing, and I was like, oh wow, he's not on that beach. That sucks. Yeah, I'm that girl. Same nail technician. Never cheated on my boyfriend. Her shirt looks so clean. I think it's the color. The color hides the dirtiness. That is how these shows work. All right. Sorry, I forgot to do a prediction there. Next prediction. First confessional of the segment. Is it a man or a woman? I think this is fun because based on the tribe layout, you can kind of make like educated guesses. Um, I'm hopeful. This episode, I'm really hoping like. So many of you may have like missed my. So basically, last week I was gone. We've already talked a little bit about this. I was gone recording the audiobook, so I didn't do a stream. I did make a video up for Patreon, but it was a rewatch of the episode because I went to a watch party. So some of you may have seen that, but I would assume many of you haven't. Um, I I mean, obviously there was a lot of human drama in it with the snake bite and everything. But strategically, this season has been really like a big letdown, I think, so far. Um, and I'm really hoping that with this swap, like we really get things moving. Um, like I don't know. It felt like a prologue. You know what I mean? The fact that we're on episode 4, they swapped into 2 tribes and everyone's introducing each other, introducing themselves. It feels like this is the actual start of the season. So I'm very hopeful that we really. What is happening here? A Mom Donnie commercial from Survivor players? Have people seen this? Is this new? I I don't know if everyone saw that because I'm my current viewing perspective is from New York. So that's wild. I didn't see the disclaimer before. No, I didn't realize what was happening. Sorry, if it plays again, it probably won't. If it plays again, I'll play the audio for you. Um, if you're not on Patreon, that was so sick. It said the following is not sponsored by Survivor or CBS. That's so funny. Yeah, it wouldn't be sponsored by CBS, would it? All right, we're back. We're back. Man, I'm 4 episodes deep and I can barely remember the distinction between the two non-disaster tribes. Yeah, Alex was first, I believe, so that was a man. On a tribe of all women, we got 2 male confessionals. Which, to be fair, was the reverse on the other tribe. We got the 2 women. You can't ever underestimate someone who survives a tribe decimation. If you survive down to the final 2 members of a tribe of 6, you've got something. You know what I mean? Well, I see we're looking at Matt again for the first time since the first episode. Wait, is Savannah Morgan is being in finance playing chess? Not looking good for my listen. I pretty much gave up on my draft after this first episode, maybe the second episode. That's devastating. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm still reeling from her story. Um, it was man. Next prediction. What time is it? Um, challenge. Um, I gotta say, already, I would say this is feeling better to me. Um, because we're actually getting to know people better. I feel like I've gotten to know Shannon more in this episode, and obviously some of the others. But like specifically, what I'm talking about is that like we had heard about how Shannon was this sort of like spiritual guru on her original tribe that people were drawn to, but I never felt it. I never saw what they were talking about. They just said it. But watching her and seeing the intensity that she has when she talks to people, not a bad intensity, but in it, but like I could absolutely see how if I'm talking to Shannon and she's looking at me like that and like giving like just full attention, so receptive, so responsive to everything that people are saying, um like I now get it. I'm okay. Now I see what they are seeing. The people that it works for and the people that it rubs the wrong way. Like before I was like, oh, she does yoga? Like, I don't like, what do you, um, but now I get it. And now she's much more interesting as a character to me. And I think they've set up a very interesting, um, conflict between her and Sage in the ways that like they differ as personalities. Is she the AI Jesus one? I think she was, right? But at the same time, though, I still don't know what exactly she was talking about with that. Like, I Googled it, but I don't know if what I Googled is the same thing. Not that, not, there's likely going to be a very good explanation for it, but. Um, man, this show's still going, huh? This ghost show. How much would it suck? I'm sure it's great to be on a long running show. How much would it suck, though? Yeah, we got a challenge to be a character on that show and literally like for years you have the same outfit. You never get to change it. All right, what should the prediction be for the challenge? Let's do Nah. What should I do? What should I do? Which tribe finish? Which tribe gets to the stacking first? Yellow, blue. Should I do that? Which tribe gets to the shore first? I'm sorry. What do you think fruit is? Man, I really wanted to see a carb. What do you mean? This is diet food. I get it. I mean, I get where she's coming from. I feel like the messaging could have been different. Oh, I see. They really dissolved the red tribe and kept the undefeated tribe against the tribe that had always lost. And yellow reaches shore first. Oof. But blue just caught up. Yeah, take one stack makes sense. No good. Surely he landed off the. He landed past the line. No. I'm surprised that was no good. Because he dropped the blocks. Why'd they pick Matt? He really dropped the ball here. He's not the person I would have predicted would be good at a balance beam. And I mean, he's getting through, but he clearly is not great at it. Drop the block. What did I say? Did I say drop the balls? What did I say? I said ball. See, that's what happened when I was recording the audiobook, is that I'll just say words I didn't even realize I said. My audio engineer has to be like, oh, you said a different word. I think also, by the way, you want to do this barefoot on the beam. Is she going to be able to be high enough on the shoulders? I feel like no. Yeah, she needs to get higher. Make like a pyramid? This is actually interesting. Like, this is a relatively unique obstacle for a tribe. Is that even going to be? I don't think that's going to be enough. Just standing on his back? I don't think that's enough. I think you need something. Yeah, they instantly caught up. But they don't have a system yet to get higher. Yeah, putting them up stacked is the way. Yeah, if you stack the rest of them and then place that as their highest block. Whew. They have 3 left. If she had just stacked 4, there we go. That's tough. Let me tell you. Trying to balance on hands like that. She's still too low. Have her stack the rest of them. Have her stack them and just put it up. Oh my God, she has to come back down. She's still not high enough. I think Rizzo's high enough. I think Rizzo can finish. He's going to stack it. Yeah, he has them stacked. He just needs to put one up. Oh, he's too short, though. He just pull one down and stack the 3. Oh, my God. Oh, no, he did have a third one. He had a third one still to go. Oh! MC carrying. She literally was the base and the person that got up there and made it happen. I was about to say, Christina, that's a really bad idea. So now Sophie remains as the the only person to have not won a single thing so far. Is this has to just be Matt, right? It feels too obvious. I guess it could still be Jason, right? I just feel like the Matt stuff was so obvious. I mean, they spent so much time on it could be Sophie. My thing about Sophie though is that like it would just make it even more. It would make the whole first 3 episodes feel even more pointless. They've spent so much building Sophie as like a main narrator of the entire season. And meanwhile, Matt and Jason have barely been on the show. And if this is going to be like a major reset, it's like it's not impossible because you still have Alex, but it would not feel good. And I think you need a little bit of a feel good. You know what I mean? Yeah, MC crushed that. That was awesome. I feel like both tribes could have won earlier if they'd figured out the because like the thing too is that like Nathan had that strategy down. He stacked like 4 of them at once. Um what I will say is it's probably a lot harder to have the blocks stacked in your hands and place them when you're unstable on a person. Right. Prediction. Um does whoops. Does anyone say finance? I will accept financial. I will accept finance. Anything that has to do, obviously, referring to Matt's job, but you do have to mention the finance part of it. Can be financial, finances, fine, I will accept money. I will not accept. I'm looking for finances. Blah, blah. Financing, yeah. Works and money I will not accept. I need the finance angle. The F word. Financier. That was a fun challenge, though. I liked that. That was way more exciting than a puzzle. Listen, I don't hate puzzles at the end of Survivor challenges. I think puzzles are great. I think there is an over reliance on puzzles. Um, it's a similar problem to the Big Brother problem, where it's like the issue is that if you test the same skills over and over, you're just going to keep getting the same results over and over. So, when you can put Jason on a puzzle, you're going to win. That's just how it's been. But when you can't put Jason on a puzzle, all of a sudden somebody like MC gets to shine because now you're testing a different skill, and we got to see something else that was super impressive, which is cool. All right, we're back. We're back. Could I put an Easter egg in the audio version that just the No, I do have some Easter eggs in the book, but mostly just referring to other Big Brother things that I didn't include. Damn stacking competitions. Okay, so how does this work? Oh, so new camp, same rule applies. Really interesting that he told her. Actually, considering it actually dissolves their majority. Well, not really. It's still 3-3 at worst. Basically, if Rizzo loses his vote and Sophie sides with the other two people, it could be at best 3-3. Does everyone say that? Or was that him that said it last time? That felt super easy compared to the other one. I guess I mean, they had to hide it specifically for him, theoretically. I'm sorry, but you got to keep Jason. If you don't want to lose more tribals, lose more immunities, you got to keep Jason around. Did anyone say finance? I don't think so. But let's run it back. Let's run it back. I got to run it back because I think it's a good one. Merge is close anyway. Get rid of Jason, who's closer to his tribe. I mean, you'll have a numbers advantage anyway. If anything, you almost want the other tribe to be unified against you. Because it helps keep things simpler. And you don't know how you don't know how soon merge is coming. Like merge could be in 2 rounds, could be in 4 rounds. You can merge it like 10, you know? And if merge is in 4 rounds, like that's pretty dangerous. New Era has always merged it at 13. That's fair, but New Era has not had a 2 tribe setup yet, you know? I'm especially thinking about like if I'm Sophie. If I'm Sophie, I can only afford to lose 1 more immunity before I'm screwed. Merges with 13 people since the early 30s. Surely they don't do 1 round with 2 tribes. Surely they do at least 2, right? Did anybody watch this movie, the live action How to Train Your Dragon? We talked about it on Tastemakers. Basically, what I heard was that it's like the same shot for shot as the animated version. But I personally think that's kind of cool. All right, we're back. We're back. Vodka out of a potato. Okay. Hadn't heard that one before. I mean, bro, you can't call it the first big move of the season. You don't know what went down on the other drive. I like this guy. I wish we had seen more of him to this point. Yeah. Matt's dead to me. Savannah has these weird reads that I just don't agree with. Still no finance. Final prediction. Last person to speak before the vote. Is it Matt, Rizzo, Savannah, Jason, Nathan, Nate? Call himself Nate. Two more. Sophie or Jawan. Um, yeah, so I feel like this like this thing about like, oh well, Jason doesn't seem willing to work with us. Like, I don't really know what they mean by that. Like, he's being cagey. I feel like Jason's strategy was fine. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna play the shot in the dark. Like, no offense, you know? But like, it's not like they've given him reason to not do that. Um, I mean, compared to Sophie, yeah, he's probably gonna fall a bit short in terms of like how comfortable Sophie's made them feel. I also don't hate what Matt's doing. I feel like, you know, you might as well swing big in the position you're in. Um, at the end of the day, they both just got screwed. They both just got massively screwed by the swap. 2 people to 4, you know? Um, and that's just the way it is. This feels like it has to be Matt though. I feel like we've barely gotten anything from either Matt or Jason, but we've gotten even less from Jason. There's no reason to suspect it's Nate or Sophie. The problem, though, is for me, I don't really care all that much. I kind of like Jason, but like, this just feels like such a boring vote. And every vote's been so boring this season. I mean, the only way they could have actively worked to prevent this is if they had intentionally split the tribes up so that the numbers were even, which would have been more interesting. But then you have the dilemma of like, is that the right call to appropriately split the tribes up? All right, we're back. Or is it better to make it random? I think like I'm trying to figure, like, is there a problem with doing it intentionally? And I'm kind of coming up short. Like, I don't really know why it would be a problem to do an equal split in a situation like this. I guess you're forcing Kella to break up, which is maybe unfair, because they could randomly end up on the same team together. Yeah, and then if you're picking and choosing which people stay and which people go, that's a little messed up. But you could do random split within the tribe itself. A lost puppy. Yeah, schoolyard pick with Kella picking would have been interesting, but it's hard to plan for that ahead of time because you don't know how the tribe layouts are going to be. It seems like they're having a little bit of an argument right now, Savannah and Nate. Like they had a disagreement about which one to send out. And she was trying to be like, this is why I think we should make this decision. And he's saying, well, this is why we should be making this decision. Morgan v. Jimmy about Keanu. I feel like Nate got his way. I feel like Savannah was throwing in a little stinger to be like, I think we're making the wrong call. And Nate was like, well, the reason we're making this call is because he came from me. Well, it's not just what the answer to the question is. It's about what do I want to say publicly. You know what? Maybe Nate didn't get his way. He seems upset. Like he's really being messy here. Maybe he's upset because he didn't ultimately get what he wanted. So that's Jason, last person to speak. Wow, only 2% went on Jason. Huge result. Oh, we are dropping frames. Go kick rocks. All right, we should be back on board. They split? That has to be it, right? The two Jason votes. Savannah and Sophie, was it? Yeah, it makes sense to have split with the shot in the dark. So, Chelsea asking why would they say those things clearly directed to Jason, then not vote for him? Um, I think that they probably had a conversation with Jason about it. They said, "Hey, we want to keep you around, but you're basically telling us that you were going to side with your original tribe, and we really want to work with you moving forward instead." And he probably promised them, like, "Hey, I've got you. I'll vote with you. I won't use my shot in the dark." And so then, at tribal, sort of like the facade was, we're voting Jason because he's not with us, and this is to prevent Matt from using a shot in the dark. And maybe even Nate acting upset with Matt and being messy, acting as though he's not getting his way on the vote, could be part of that facade. You always have to consider the fact that tribal is all charade. With shot in the dark, especially, you always have to be lying. Basically, it's very bad idea to be honest to tribal. So every single tribal is a performance. If you're a good player. Um, I think this was a better episode than previous, but not by a huge margin. Um, you know, I'm really just still waiting for, because like man, the thing is that like we should have been heading for a battle between the two tribes that remained. And instead, the way the split happened, it just became another like pick off fest. And so now I'm concerned because if we get to emerge without the other tribe losing and making the numbers even again, I mean, Pagongings have not happened in the new era. So I doubt it would happen in that way. But like, we've got to start an actual storyline soon, you know? '44 is the most recent good season. I think '47 was good, no? I think most people thought '47 was pretty good. All right, we're back. All right, that was Survivor. We will not be doing an Amazing Race watch live tonight. I will reserve the right in the future to do one. Um, but I need to protect my peace a little bit. As we are still, I've got a deep dive in the morning. Um, which whoops, I just leaked the timing. uh, um, but apart from that, um, I will be watching The Amazing Race, of course, for Patreon. Um, I think what I'll probably do, um, I think I'll drop Jet Lag tomorrow morning since I already have it recorded. Um, I'm also recording tomorrow morning. Um, so I can drop that while I'm recording or before I start recording. And then um and then later tomorrow I'll watch Amazing Race and and I'll get that out by Friday morning. And then I can start dropping Traders UK after that as well. I think that's the current schedule for the Patreon. I am liking Amazing Race. I've actually been enjoying it. It's just tough to do 3 straight hours, especially like honestly, if it were 3 straight hours at another time, it'd be so much easier. It's the fact that it's 3 hours from 5 to 8 my time. It's like right at dinner time. You know what I mean? Um, so it's really tough to like block out this specific amount of time. Um, watch parties are for higher level patron. Yes. Um, but all the other shows, Jet Lag, Traders, stuff like that. The Genius. I'm going to be starting season 2 soon. That stuff is regular tier. Ground support, I call it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I know some of you are gonna bounce to go watch Amazing Race right now. Yeah, Amazing Race and Survivor. Like I said, sort of like the CBS shows. Are the higher tier. But that's what we've got. Let me see. It's been a while, so I feel like I don't know if there's anything else I need to update you guys on. Book fiction related content too, for sure. I'll do some book stuff once I finish up the deep dives and the pickups for the recording for the audiobook. I will hopefully be done with like everything by next week. Let me just what does the calendar look like? I will be in San Francisco 3 weeks from now. And that's for the Survivor. So that's another, by the way, that's another stream I won't be doing. I will be in San Francisco. I will not be able to stream that one. And I won't probably even be home for a while. So like that might be a tough one for, like, it won't be a while before I am able to like, oh God, my brain. Uh, it'll be a while before I can do any content on that episode, basically, because I'll be in San Francisco. Outside of that, though, I should be ready to go with most of the episodes. And there's some more stuff we can be doing, especially like I said, once we sort of finally move past BB27 and all this traveling stuff that I'm doing. Tons of content for the Patreon, especially book related, especially as we get closer to the published date. Q&As. Once it comes out, I would love to do some kind of like book club kind of thing where we can sort of like go over chapter by chapter, you know, me talking through the intent behind each chapter, how it came about, all kinds of fun behind the scenes extra stuff. So that's all going to be on the Patreon. And also, by the way, next week, Traders Canada or Canadian Traders Canada. The Canadian Traders is starting with Kevin Jacobs, with Omer. Super pumped. Very excited to watch that one. So that will also be on the Patreon. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy all of the deep dives and everything else. And that's about it. That's about what I got. Thanks for hanging out. I will see all of you next time.